I was in the Dutch Army Reserves back home in the Netherlands, and then I moved to New Zealand. When I started transitioning, I was quite worried that that would be the end of my military career aspirations, but I had to transition for my own physical and mental well-being, so I always say to people it's not so much a choice, it's just something you really have to do to be yourself. And when I was about a year into my transition, I actually inquired at a recruitment if I could join the NZDF after transitioning, and they were actually really positive about it. So I had to wait 5 years before I could apply because I was from the Netherlands. And when 5 years was up, I actually applied, and that's now 6 years ago. And I've had an amazing career in the Defence Force since. And I knew that there's countries where you can't actually serve when you're trans or when you transition. So yeah, it was a pleasant surprise that they were accommodating from the start. They've been, even during the recruitment process, they were very respectful. You know, I was able to share, but I would keep things quiet if you know, just to look after my privacy. But it's not been an issue at all during recruitment. I've just been treated like anybody else. Definitely have to bite your tongue sometimes. You know, you've got the standard banter, you know, people might have seen something on television and you kind of want to explain a bit more, but then you can't really because they don't know where you're coming from. And you can't always tell things about your past when people are talking about what they did when they were a teenager. I just have to be quite careful what I say so they don't give it away. But in a lot of aspects, you know, I was literally just seen as one of the guys, so it hasn't really been an obstacle in that aspect. Yeah, there's little challenges, and sometimes you just laugh at it in hindsight, where people actually find out they can actually see some things that happened before, yeah, and how that has impacted. When I was going through my struggles, especially as a teenager, you know, I knew I could potentially transition, but you look at it and you don't know if you're going to be successful in life and what the impact of that will be. And I didn't have those role models in the past that I could look up to see that you could just, you know, be who you are and have a good career and a fulfilling life. So I decided to be more open about it, because if there's young people out there that think that they might not be able to join the Defence Force, or they might not be able to do the career that they actually set their mind to, just seeing people that are a couple steps ahead of them, and for them seeing that they can be whoever they want to be. I think that's really important, and the Defence Force is an awesome place to work. So yeah, if there's people out there that think they can't join, well, in fact they actually can, and they will be a very respected member of the Defence Force. I think that's the message that I want to get across. One of the most validating things for me was, like, I trained as a medic at Burnham Military Camp. So we had Army physical training instructors, and I always find them quite intimidating, and they yell at you a lot and get you pretty fit. And we had one one PDI that ran next to me, and he knew that I was a bit older than most of my other colleagues. And he ran next to me, and I was like, Mark, how old are you? And I'm like, well, I'm 42. And he's like, wow, I hope I'm going to be as fit as you when I'm your age. And he didn't know my past. He just thought I was pretty fit for an old fella. And I think that was one of the most validating things there. I was like, I just get accepted and seen as a guy. And even now I've taught, I'm more open about it, taught more people, that hasn't changed. I'm just Mark, and I'm just one of the guys.